All right. DJ, thank you. Another scholarship coming again. For the second position now, KBSC has announced that it will sponsor the ATWA exams. But the tuition, First Access Associates, an ICANN accredited center, is sponsoring the tuition from ATS 1 to ATS 3 for the second position. Thank you very much, First Access Associates. We really appreciate your benevolence. Thank you very much. And quickly to the last plenary session, the Chartered Accountant as a strategic leader and policy influencer in a rapidly changing economy. To chair this session, we have the singular honor to bring to the podium our revered past president in person of Mr. Doyin Owolabi, FCA, President 2012-2013. Celebrate him, please. Celebrate him. He deserves more than that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are moving on. And quickly, let us also recognize and bring on stage the speaker of today, the Chartered Accountant as a strategic leader and policy influencer in a rapid changing economy. Ladies and gentlemen, join me to welcome on stage Mr. Albert Folorunsho, FCA, the managing consultant, Christine Padabo. Please put your hands together. Let's celebrate him as he comes on stage. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Folorunsho, the managing partner and consultant of Christine Padabo. You're welcome, sir. And now, with the permission of Mr. President, I want to humbly invite the chairman of session in person of Mr. Doyin Owolabi, FCA, to be upstanding for his citation.
Industrial and Labor Relations from the University of Lagos, Akoka. He is a Fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, ICANN, Fellow of Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria, Fellow of Nigeria Institute of Management and member, Institute of Public Accountants of Australia. Doyin had his professional training with Messrs. Akintola, Williams & Company, now Deloitte, Nigeria, Lagos, where he acquired varied experience in the areas of auditing, including the audits of public sector entities, taxation, consultancy, including corporate restructuring, and secretarial practice. He later worked with NFI Insurance Company, PLC, where he voluntarily retired as the Chief Finance Officer in 2007. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Doyin Owolabi, FCA.
Celebrate him.
All right, thank you so much. Quickly, let us also humbly request that Mr. Albert Folorunsho, FCA, to be upstanding as we take his citation.
Albert Folorunsho, Vertical Bar Managing Consultant, Creston Pedabo, FCA, FCTI, FBR, FCIB, ADIT, Mississippi C, LLB, Hons. Fellow, Institute of Chartered Accountants, ICANN, Sci Fellow, Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria, Sit-in Sci Fellow President, Business Recovery and Insolvency Practitioners, Association of Nigeria, BRIPIN, Sci Fellow, Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, SIBIN, SIFTIN, International Affiliate, Chartered Institute of Taxation, CIOT of UK, SUID member, Working Group on VADE's Implementation in Nigeria, 2018-2020 SIFTI member. National Tax Policy Implementation Committee 2019-2023, TEF member, Tax Advisory Committee, to the Tax Appeal Tribunal SIVNI member, Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reform SIVDI former, Dean International Tax Faculty, Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria, CTNT, over 30 years of professional experience in taxation, insolvency, practice, and management consulting. Albert has been involved in all aspects of taxation practice, including international tax advisory, transfer pricing planning and implementation, and oil and gas taxation management. He has also handled several insolvency assignments for financial institutions, including debt recovery, liquidation, receivership management, and business restructuring. He is an international affiliate of the Chartered Institute of Taxation, CIO, of UK with specialization in UK and European taxation, having been awarded the prestigious Advanced Diploma in International Taxation. With wide experience in international taxation and advisory involving cross-border structuring and transfer pricing, and has lectured on business and advanced tax management for almost the 2nd of December ADIS. Albert Coe founded Creston Padabo in 1998 and is presently the managing consultant of the firm.
Put your hands together, make it loud for the managing consultant of Creston Padabo. Thank you very much, sir. You may have your seat. And now, we'll hand over the microphone to the chairman of session, Mr. Doyin Owolabi, FCA.
My 61st president, my colleagues, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I say good morning once again. Let me quickly correct one thing that happened when I was being introduced, or when they were reading my citation. I never went to a university called the University of Ife, and I don't think I don't think there's any university so-called in Nigeria. I went to the University of Ife. Now Obafemi Awolowo University. And on that note, I say, great Ife! You can now see that we dominate ICANN. Thank you. Don't worry. Products of other universities should semper. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I have with me today my brother, my colleague, my friend, one of those who always want to claim that they learnt rascality from me, himself, Toby Abiola and co. But I do tell them always, they learnt rascality from 2 to 3 other past presidents before me. Not me, oh. My name is Innocent. But I'll tell you, this is a matter of innocent me chairing this session for a Zacchaeus. And on that note, I invite to the podium, without wasting much time, to quickly make his presentation, Mr. Albert Zacchaeus Folorunsho. Please give him a round of applause. For those who are itching to go for Jumat service, don't worry. between the two of us, we have decided how we are going to manage the time. I will give you enough time to prepare yourself for Jumat service. Thank you.
My president, the 65th president of ICANN. Okay, this one is okay. But we all know our president anyway. The vice president, my mommy, all the council members that are present, the conference planning chairman and the committee, thank you so much for inviting me. The chairman of this session, I don't know where Zacchaeus entered my name, but my parents did not tell me that. But I'm sure he will explain when the time comes. I also want to put on record that I'm also currently the president of BRIPAN. And before I start, I also came here with the registrar because being BRIPAN president, I noticed that the institute or association has been dominated by lawyers instead of accountants. And we know how the lawyers handle their own insolvency. They just close down while the accountant manage the business for recovery, which is the direction of recovery now. So I'm inviting all of us who want to practice as insolvency practitioner to come and join. We are supposed to be dominating that institute, not lawyers. If you're interested, the registrar is here. Just pick your form. It's straightforward. And you become a member. Thank you very much. I will go straight to my paper so that, because he has told me that I have only 20 minutes. I've been asked to speak on, of course, the paper is revitalizing, the theme is revitalizing Nigeria economy for sustainable development and accelerating new frontiers. And I'm sure a lot of people have spoken to that. And I'm only going to be speaking to us as accountant, that the chartered accountant as a strategic leader and policy influencer in a rapidly changing economy. And so which means we are directly speaking to ourselves and how we can be more relevant. All right, so I stand before you deeply honored at this time to have been invited to present this paper, the 20th Western Zonal Accountant Conference. I hope I'm right. I want to begin by acknowledging all the elders that are here, because this is about learning from our elders and not ourselves. So we want to put the accountant on the front burner, and that is why this topic has been carefully selected, so that we know beyond double entry, there are so many things accountants should be, and not just remain in that abstract subject that we are used to doing during exam. So, accounting is not an abstract subject. It is a question that confronts every chartered accountant most times, who looks beyond the ledger and asks, what difference can I make? It's a question I have wrestled with across several decades in taxation, business recovery, insolvency, and advisory. Let me state my position very clearly here. The chartered accountant is not merely a recorder of transaction or a guardian of compliance. The chartered accountant is by training and by temperament equipped to lead, equipped to advise, equipped to shape the policies and govern our economy and our society. The question is whether we have the capacity. It's not whether we have the capacity, it is, will we take up the mantle? How many of us are willing to take the mantle to lead? The moment we are in now, to understand this, why this matter is very critical, we must look at the environment in which we operate. The Nigerian economy is navigating a period of profound transition We have witnessed exchange rate unification, fuel subsidy removal, monetary policy tightening, and tax reform laws that have sparked intense national debate. And on a daily basis, national debate on the tax reform is heightening. I saw some documents yesterday, and a lot of debate is already going on. Businesses are restructuring, households are adjusting. Government is also recalibrating its fiscal framework. Globally, the picture is not less complex. Supply chains remain very fragile. Geopolitical tensions all over the place have reshaped trade patterns. Climate change is forcing a rethink of energy policy, and we definitely have to join in this force. Artificial intelligence and automation are transforming how work is done and how value is created. A lot of us are afraid about artificial intelligence. I will speak to that briefly. In this environment, decision makers are searching for clarity. They are searching for trusted advisors who can help them understand the numbers, nuances, assess the risk, and chart a path forward. They are searching for people who can translate policy intention into implementable path, and who can ever so prudently hold institutions accountable for results. This is the space where the chartered accountants must position themselves, not on the margins, but at the center of it all. There is this anxiety, like I said, in some quarters, that automation will render accountants obsolete, that algorithm replace auditors, that software will displace advisors. I want to address this head on because I believe it reflects a misunderstanding of what our profession actually is. Yes, AI can process transactions faster than any human. It can scan thousands of documents in minutes and identify patterns that will take teams, accountants, weeks to uncover. These capabilities are real and they are advancing rapidly, and I'm sure we are all aware of that. But AI cannot sit across from a distressed business owner and help them to see a path to recovery. It cannot exercise the professional judgment that determines whether a going concern assumption is appropriate. I understand there's something in the UK now that will take a review of a company and can suggest in the next few years this company is likely to fail or not. So the risk is there, clearly. And it's something that we must work. Again, AI, it cannot mentor a young professional. I mean, those who have been interviewed, who just completed the debate, or model ethical conduct under pressure. And we are seeing that even in our young ones that embrace technology. The technology is not affecting or impacting their conduct. What AI will do is to eliminate routine. Data entry, bank reconciliation, standard computation will increasingly be handled by machine. This is not a threat at all. It is a liberation. When routine is automated, what remains is judgment, interpretation, and the ability to advise on what should be done. These are precisely the competencies that distinguish a strategic leader from a technician. The chartered accountant who embraces AI will not be replaced by it. And this is a call for us to also what? To embrace AI. Otherwise, you'll be replaced. That accountant will be amplified. That is what should happen. My counsel is simple. Do not fear the technology. Master it and deploy it in its service for the strategic contribution that only you can make. True intelligence, whether human or artificial, is not measured by the ability to process information at all. It is measured by the strategic thinking, professional judgment, and ethical decision making. These are the qualities that set the chartered accountant apart, and no algorithm can replace them. And like I said, what I've been doing the last 1 year is to study AI so that I will understand where we are and how I can navigate and ensure that the AI does not replace me. I will replace the AI before it replaces me, definitely. I have progressed now to the level of agentic service, AI agentic, which means a situation where you can not only give in a system a prompt, but when you give a prompt, the system will think the way you are thinking and take some decision. I want to go to Abuja next week. It is the responsibility of the AI to book the ticket, find out whether the weather will be right that time. Okay, if there's cancellation, it will book it before asking me and tell me where I will stay in Abuja, tell me when I will return. We need to also get involved, otherwise, don't be replaced by AI. So the question is, who is a strategic leader? It means you see beyond the immediate transaction and make connection to broaden objective, aspire to the big picture while anticipating and appreciating the current inconveniences. A strategic leader does not wait to be asked. A strategic leader anticipates what is needed and step forward to provide it. Find ways to plug the gaps and provide probable solution to emerging risks. Consider how the role of Chief Financial Officer has evolved. 3 generations ago, the CFO was the head of the accounting department, focused on recording and keeping compliant. Today, the most effective CFO sit at the right hand of the chief executive. They are involved in corporate strategy, capital allocation, risk management, and stakeholder management and engagement. They have earned this position not by abandoning the technical foundation, but by building on it. And so that is the foundation. If you are not technically competent, you cannot be involved in that strategic decision making. This evolution is not limited to the corporate sector. In government, the most influential permanent secretaries and directors are those who combine technical competence with the ability to advise ministers on policy trade-off. In developing organization, the most effective leaders are those who can connect program design with financial sustainability. In every sector, the pattern is the same. Technical excellence opens the door, but the strategic thinking, collaboration, and execution and sustain a seat at the table. The opportunity before us as chartered accountants is to make this transition deliberately and systematically, not remain isolated professional. What does it mean then to be a policy influencer? Policy is simple, the set of decisions that government make about how to allocate resources and regulate behavior. Every budget is a policy document. Every tax law is a policy instrument. Every regulatory framework reflects policy choices. These choices have consequences. When policy is designed and well implemented, public service improve, businesses flourish, and citizens prosper. When policy is poorly conceived or poorly executed, resources are wasted, opportunities are lost, and trust erodes. Chartered accountants have a direct contribution to make at every stage of policy cycle. At the design stage, we bring analytical rigor. We can model the fiscal impact of proposed measures. We can stress test assumptions. We can identify implementation challenges before they become implementation failure. At the execution stage, we bring discipline. We understand budgetary controls, procurement processes, and financial reporting. We can ensure that funds reach their intended purposes and that leakages are minimized. At the evaluation stage, we bring objectivity from our quantitative acumen. We can measurably assess whether programs have achieved their objectives and if resources have been expended efficiently. We can provide the independent assurance that accountability requires. All of those are for the chartered accountant. The International Federation of Accountants, in fact, speaks of a golden thread connecting policy resources, and outcome. When this thread is strong, society functions optimally. When it is weak, the functional thrives. Chartered accountants are uniquely qualified to strengthen this thread, but only if we choose to significantly engage. The chartered accountant must engage. If you go back in history, I'm sure we will want to hear this very well. Historically, our profession has produced nation builders. We have Chief Akitola Williams, right? Yes, if you want to clap, please clap for him. The first Nigerian to qualify as a chartered accountant in 1950 did not confine himself to auditing ledgers only. He returned home and founded the first indigenous accounting firm in Africa. But his ambition extended beyond private and practice. He was founding member of Nigerian Stock Exchange, which has since become the backbone of our capital market. He co-founded and served as the first president of the Association of Accountants in Nigeria, which evolved into ICANN through an act of parliament in 1965, right? He mentored generation of professionals who went on to lead institutions across public and private sector. He was a man who understood that building a profession was inseparable from building a nation. Then we have Chief Anthony Ani, who rose to become senior partner of KPMG Nigeria and served as ICANN president in 1977-78. When the accountancy profession first globalized its governance structure, Ani was elected to represent Africa on the inaugural Council of International Federation of Accountants. He co-founded the Africa Accounting Council, and when Nigeria needed experienced hands to manage finances, he served as finance minister from 1994 to 1998. His career illustrates a recurrent theme. Those who build professional institutions often find themselves called to build public ones. Emmanuel Ijewere is another president, embodied this same spirit. Beyond launching mandatory continuing professional education program that will underpin our standard, he chaired the committee that designed the introduction of VAT to Nigeria under President Babangida, fundamentally reshaping the country's revenue architecture. He later chaired the Agriculture and Food Security Commission, served as president of the Institute of Directors, and led Nigerian Red Cross Society. His trajectory is all over the place. Then the pattern extends to Central Bank of Nigeria. We have Alhaji Abdul Kadri Ahmed, a fellow of ICANN, served as CBN governor for 11 years across 4 administrations. We have Mr. Olusegun Aganga, served as Minister of Finance and later Minister of Industry. Beyond the federal level, chartered accountants have moved from professional service to elected office. Senator David Davinone, a fellow of ICANN, founded one of Nigeria's earliest indigenous firms and later served as senator for Bendel South in the Second Republic. His son, Senator Ede Davinone, also a fellow of ICANN, now serves as senator of Delta Central, sitting on the Finance and Public Account Committee. We remember Senator Ibikunle Amosu, a fellow. We have Chief William Obiano. And again, in the private sector, practitioners contribute to policy through technical expertise without holding public office. We have Dipo Kolawole, a fellow of ICANN, spent 3 decades as ExxonMobil before joining Templars, twice chairing the task committee of the oil producers, and so on. And then, perhaps the most vivid contemporary example is our Mr. Taiwo Oyedele. Let's clap for the young man. I have not seen somebody that can explain in the face of trouble like him. Whatever you say, he will have explanation. And I'm sure in the coming days, you will see more explanation. After 20 years at PwC, as fiscal policy partner and African tax leader, he was appointed chairman of the Presidential Committee. From that position, he has led the most comprehensive overhaul of Nigerian tax system, in decades, but his influence began long before the appointment. For years, he engaged in thought leadership, building credibility as an independent voice on tax matters. He has served as chairman of ICANN Taxation and Fiscal Policy Faculty and thematic lead at the Nigerian Economic Summit Group. There are not so isolated cases. The evidence is very clear to us. Chartered accountants have the capacity to lead at the highest level. The question is whether we will do so in sufficient number going forward. I'm aware that some colleagues have reservations, and I'm sure you can guess the reservation about engaging in policy arena. This is understandable. As accountants, we are trained to count the cost before we commit. And because we count the cost, a lot of us are running away when they see the cost. Whatever integrity you have, when you enter the den of politics, you know what happens. Some say that politics is a terrain unsuited for professionals of integrity. I understand this concern, but I want to offer a different perspective. Every terrain of human capacity has its challenges, I'm sure we know. And the corporate world is not free of ethical complexity. Professional practice is not without its dilemmas. Figures are jumping up and down now. But we do not withdraw from this arena because they are imperfect. We engage and strive to raise standards. The same principle applies to public sector. We cannot demand better if we dismiss opportunity to add our own quota to rebuilding the system. If chartered accountants of integrity refuse to participate, the field will be occupied by others. I'm sure we know those others, including Agberos. And when the resulting policy disappoints, we will have no standing to complain. We cannot simultaneously demand better governance and absence ourselves from the process that produces it. Some say the accountant lack the skill required for leadership and influence. The objection mistake the starting point for the destination. Leadership skill can be developed, communication skill can be learned. Many of the most effective leaders in Nigeria business and public life began their career in accounting. What distinguished them was not innate charisma, but discipline, preparation, and the courage to step forward when opportunity arose. So I will just quickly mention 5 priorities. For clarity, let me offer those practical priorities for chartered accountants who wish to exercise strategic leadership and policy influence, so that after this presentation, you can go and obtain your form, depending on the party that you are affiliated with. Your credibility rests on competence. Continue to invest in technical excellence, but do not stop there. While you have developed capabilities in data analytics, scenario planning, and risk management, position yourself to understand technology well enough to evaluate its implication for business models and control environment. Secondly, learn the language of your audience. The substance of analysis may be constant, but the framing must be adept. And the ability to translate technical insight into terms that resonate with different stakeholders is a defining leadership skill. And thirdly, build relationships before you need them. Influence does not operate in a vacuum. It flows from a network of trust and mutual respect. Engage with associations, industry bodies, and civic organizations. Volunteer your expertise. When the moment comes to contribute to policy discussion, you will be known as someone whose input adds value. There are board appointments all over the place. Let's exploit them and join. And fourthly, be present where decisions are made. Accept appointment to boards and advisory committees. Respond to calls for public commentaries on proposed legislation. Attend the ward meetings and stakeholders forum in your communities. Stand for leadership position in professional bodies. The venue matters less than the principle. You cannot shape what you do not engage in. Even where you live, when they're looking for chairman of community. Accountants, they are very busy, they will never be there. But you know, those people that are now heads, they can call the governors, they can call head of EFCC, they can call head of everywhere, the tax authority, everywhere. But the accountants are always running away. Finally, strategically speak truth to power. Our professional code emphasizes integrity, independence, and objectivity. These are not abstract ideals. They are practical commitments that must be honored, especially when it is uncomfortable to do so. Leaders and advisors who will tell them what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. This is the service that chartered accountants are trained to provide. It requires wisdom. It requires courage. It is the foundation of lasting credibility. So the role of ICANN, quickly, individual effort is essential, but it is not sufficient. Our institute, ICANN, has a critical role to play in positioning chartered accountants for strategic leadership and policy influence. The institute must continue to develop curricula that prepare members not only for technical competence, but for leadership responsibility. The skill required to conduct an audit are not identical to the skill required to advise a minister or a head of state. Both require strong foundation, but the latter demands additional emphasis on communication, negotiation, and contextual judgment. The institute must engage actively and consistently in public discourse. When fiscal policy is debated, the voice of ICANN should be heard. When corporate governance standards are revised, the perspective of ICANN should shape the outcome. When financial scandals occur, the analysis from ICANN should inform the national response. Okay. The institute should cultivate deliberate partnership with government at all levels, not to seek patronage, but to offer expertise. Every Ministry of Finance, every revenue authority, every treasury department would benefit from structured collaboration with our professional body. We should be proactive in offering this partnership. The final call, let me conclude. The Nigerian economy needs chartered accountants to step forward, not just as auditors and tax advisors. They are important as those roles, but as leaders who can help institutions navigate complexity. As advisors, we can help policymakers make sound decisions. As responsible citizens who bring professional rigor to public discourse. Our nation faces significant challenges, but challenges are what? Opportunities waiting to be seized. We have the human talent, we have the natural resources, we have the entrepreneurial energy. We now need to contribute to the quality of governance and implementation that convert potential into progress. Chartered accountants can and will close the gap. I'm not suggesting that every accountant should seek effective office or government appointment. I'm sure we all know that. Strategic leadership and policy influence can be exercised from many positions. Distinguished colleagues, I close with this reflection. The Chartered Institute of Public Finance and Accountancy described a maturity model for public financial management. First, strong stewardship and governance. Second, improved performance. Third, the transformational skill that drives systematic change. I strongly believe this model applies equally to the professional journey of every chartered accountant. We begin with stewardship, mastering the technical foundation of our craft. We progress to the performance, applying our skill to create value within the organization where we serve. And then we mature into transformation, deploying our capability to reshape systems, institutions, and policy for the common good. The theme of this conference calls us to revitalize the Nigerian economy and accelerate new frontier. I submit that chartered accountants are essential to this mission, not as supporting players at all or bench warmers in Man United, Abiola, but as leaders, not as passive observers, but as active drivers and shapers, not as critics from sideline, but as builders in the arena. This profession has given us so much. It has given us knowledge, credibility, and opportunity. It is time to give back. It is time to step forward. It is time to lead. Thank you for listening.
Mr. President, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, now I can say that the die is cast. Can you please give him another round of applause? Yes. In summary, one or two sentences. What he has told us is this. Accountancy has since moved from the era of debit and credit and the question, how much profit did I make, into the era of decision making. And now we are moving it to the era of dominating the future by planning ahead strategically. Mr. Folonsho, I thank you sincerely for this. I'll say this. All that you've been listening to since morning, from Otumba Abiola's paper to his own paper, has been grab the bull by the horns and don't let it go. You have great opportunities out there for you and I don't want to deliver another paper. I'll take your comments and questions. Those of you who know me very well, you know I talk a lot. But that's why I said I don't want to deliver another paper. Let me follow the footsteps of Ambassador Comfort Itayo. I'll take one from there, 2, 3, 4 for now. You see, I bear a funny name. And I don't want people to strip me of that name. I bear a woman's name. So I will give Swan the opportunity of taking 2 extra if possible. Up Swan. Up Swan. Make una dey deceive yourself. Now for kitchen everything. Question over word or comment? Anyone there? Please, Prince Bade Budeko. Okay, question number 2. Question number 2. Oh, yeah. Number 3. Please hurry up. And number 4. Swan. Okay. Prince, I'm being tempted to plead with you. You've been asking questions since yesterday. Please. Somebody to replace him there. Okay, he's been replaced. Number 1. Number 1.
Can I go?
Please, the president has agreed with me. In fact, instructed me. Time is of the essence. No salutations. Go straight to your question. Please. No salutations and so on. So that means no protocols and so on. Just go straight to your questions.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Shileola Adebusola Akimbowale, FCA, membership number 22473. My question to Mr. Folorunsho You said that as chartered accountant, we should seek political appointments. So I want to ask, beyond what we were taught in ICANN classes, how best can we position ourselves to be able to attract those appointments and be able to get it without actually lobbying? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. What else? Can I go? Okay. My name is Samson Ajibade, membership number 27206. My whole question is on the area of insolvency that you make mention. I just want you to brief us, what are the opportunities available that we can grab, that will attract us, and what is the sufficient and all what it takes before going into it fully? Thank you, sir.
My name is Akishola Akinlayo Seidu, MB 030058. My own is in form of a request and advice. We've been taught from all the presenters of very good topics that we should get influence and lobby for us to move forward from the point we are to the next point. I want to advise our great institution and our paper presenters that how can we connect to the people ahead of us for us to grow the way. Because I want to advise that it's possible for them to create a database of our resource people or persons that we can reach as and when we need. So that's my own request.
Okay. My name is Olatunde Patience. Thank you, sir. My question is, with this new tax refund, because I know you are capable and you can answer, sir, where a government gives a company contract and such company subtracted that contract to another company, I hope it will not amount to double tax. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Ojo Toluwase Olumide, membership number NB020729. I want to ask, based on this topic, a strategic leader and policy influencer. Policy influencing at times involves...
Hello. Please, you can only hear if you listen. If you don't listen, you will not hear. Let us be attentive. We are not talking of today. We are talking of our future. And the future is very real. It starts from now.
Thank you, our chairman of session. Policy influencing involves lobbying, just like we were told at the first workshop yesterday. Now, accountants are known for people of high ethical standards. How do we marry the ethical standards of accountants with lobbying in influencing policies? Thank you.
Mr. Folonsho, you want to take the...
Thank you. Thank you very much for those questions. The president is here, and of course I have an able chairman of session. I've not been told to answer all questions. I will attempt those questions. Okay, so the first question really is, which is also the same thing by the third person, is how do we position ourselves for political appointment or for political recognition? So, from the background that we have said, as an accountant, the first thing is that you learn the basic, right? And then you are expert in it. The second is you go into the industry to display your knowledge, and then you are an expert in it. Of course, from there, you will be recognized. You don't have to lobby. We're not saying go out and start lobbying by giving people money. See, anything you want to get by lobbying is not ethical, totally. as an accountant, it will not be ethical because lobbying in Nigeria is bribery, all right? Okay, so what you need to do is to be an expert in your field, and you will be so recognized. And that is why I gave a number of examples of accountants who have, excelled in their position and how they have gone to be recognized by government. It is not like you have a book to read as to how you transition from your current position to the next position. It is from your experience, it is from your action, it is from your relationship. Anywhere you are is a position. What you need to do is to ensure at all times you move away from that particular position and get involved. If you are not involved, nobody will, the fact that you are a member of a political party and you are a chartered accountant, even if you don't say anything in their meetings, they will recognize you. Whenever they are taking decision and looking for who to put in a position, and Mr. A is a chartered accountant, you will be on a very special list in that environment. Then the second one has to do with insolvency practice. All right, I think I need us to listen now. Yes, insolvency is one of our, of the expertise accountants are supposed or are learned to carry out. And I was making my point and I was comparing what accountant does with that of the lawyers. And I also made allusion to the fact that it's being dominated by lawyers who really don't understand what it means in terms of how to revive an entity. Their own is just close and sell and move on. So we are aware of the delinquent debt and the huge impaired loans in all the banks. Yes, so many of them have made provision. They are not writing them off. They are hoping that they will recover. And how do they recover without appointing a receiver? Most of those credit facilities, if you look at the debenture, there is a provision that says that at a particular point, you can appoint an insolvency practitioner to come in either as a receiver, in case of receivership, as a trustee when you are talking about CVA or administration. We have so many of our accountants now. If you see one or two airlines, they are being managed by lawyers and accountants. That is insolvency. And to practice insolvency, BRIPAN and other associations are specifically recognized by CAMA 2020. If you don't have those recognition, you cannot practice insolvency. And that is why I've asked the registrar to come in here today, so that anyone that need the reference, please get it from them. All right, so that accountants can come into their profession. It is the profession of accountants. We don't want it to happen such a way that ICANN will start fighting BRIPAN because there are too many lawyers, as we have Institute of Taxation and Co. in the olden days. All right? Then we have Mr. Olatunde tax reform, subcontracting. I don't know whether I should answer the question or I should ask you to go and seek professional advice. All right? So that is it. But subcontracting is just like you have a contract awarded to Mr. A, and Mr. A decides to give the contract to Mr. B. They are two different entities, and somebody is going to be making some earnings along the line. Each portion of the earnings is taxable. There is value addition, and where there is value addition, it is the value addition that is subjected to tax. I'm not going to say more than that. I'm sure you know what I'm saying. Okay, so I think that is it. The last person also talked about how do we, at what point does lobbying becomes, contradict ethical standard. I think we have explained that. You cannot, we all know what is right. And decision you take is your own decision. When you are taking the right decision, you definitely know. And when you are taking the wrong decision, you know. The profession of accountant has called us for what? For ethical standard, and we must follow it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Folonsho. I will just quickly add this. For those of you who think some of us belonging to one social club or the other one sports club or the other, one family club or the other, are wasting money and time. This is it, oh. These are the places where we network majorly. A word is sufficient for the wise. Do you know, just in rounding up, do you know that your institute runs another NGO called the Members Educational and Benevolent Trust Fund, headed by a board of trustees whose chairman is Dame Oshiemi, and the board of trustees has under it a management board headed by my innocent self, Doyin Wolabi, and on that board, another board member is here this morning, Dame, I beg your pardon, Ambassador, Dr. Olujimoke Eyitayo. This particular NGO does a lot. You must have had one member or the other in distress in your various district societies. And I want the district chairman to listen. The way we operate is this. If such a person exists, you must apply to us. And your application must be endorsed jointly by the chairman of your district society and the secretary. We have taken care of a lot of ailments. We cannot disclose the names of the persons. You have sworn to that oath. But we report to ICANN. We have our external auditors, different from ICANN's external auditors. And whatever they do to us at the end of the day, the product is consolidated into the audited financial statements of your institute. So if you are interested, when you get the annual report and accounts for ICANN, please go through it. The reason why I'm saying this is this. We don't spend our monies. The only thing is we are volunteers picked by the institute. And it is registered separately with the Corporate Affairs Commission. However, we often come out like this to plead for donations. Because a member that is incapacitated is likely, depending on the extent of incapacitation, is likely not to be able to take care of himself or some members of his family. And where such incapacitation or death affects the children negatively and they are still in school, we usually take up the responsibility of ensuring that our children, i.e. these members' children, do not end up out of school. We pay their school fees. We sustain them. Thank you. Some handbills have been distributed. Our stand is out there. For God's sake, try and go through the handbills. And if there is anything you can do to help us, the people to be contacted are there. We are always a phone call away from you. For those who want to set up NGOs as businesses for themselves, maybe this is one area my brother did not go into. You should be able to learn from these. Take care of your neighbors. And as you digest what I have said, as you prepare yourself to donate, no amount is too small. We have members that have given us 10 million. We have members that have given us 20. We have members that have given us 5,000. Everything will be receipted for and accounted for. As you donate, interestingly, my prayer is that may you never be a beneficiary from that fund. Any toro jeo, any woju ayeke to jeun o, omo te bi eton won debi te roti ni ba won o, e de jire awon omo na. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank the organizers. I want to thank my president for tolerating me. Somebody who has lived amongst us, Yorubas. Okay, if you don't understand the Yoruba prayers I've said, please, I went to school, come and pay. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for listening to this particular session. I want to thank you for accommodating us. And I pray that those things you have learned from this conference, particularly today from Otumba Abiola and Mr. Folorunso, will not be in vain in Jesus' name. I want to charge the organizers, please summarize these opportunities apart from your communique and circulate to members. Thank you and God bless you all.
Thank you very much, sir. Please make it loud, make it loud, make it loud for the chairman of session, Mr. Doyin Owolabi FCA, and also the managing consultant of Creston Pedabo. Thank you so much for this session. Quickly, to appreciate the chairman of session, we have the honor to call on the past zonal chairman in person of Mr. Kola Olaiton FCA, 2014-2016 zonal chairman. Please celebrate him as he comes forward, please. I have the honor to bring forward the chairman of session for the talk.
Hello.
I taught you and Sheson, you should have sung for him the song I normally sing for him.
I actually was praying that I won't be the one to present to you. I wanted to present to, but who am I to say no? On behalf of the Institute, the Western Zone, I want to present this to one of our own, Mr. Doyin Owolabi FCA, for accepting to act as the chairman of session for this session for us. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. We really appreciate you.
All right, thank you so much. Quickly, let us also invite to the stage Honorable Idowu Otetubi FCA, the immediate past chairman of Western Zone Conference.
The birthday boy. Coincidentally, today is his birthday. DJ, do I get a birthday song there for him?
All right. Today it's his birthday.
Exactly.
And again, let me also tell you that exactly, that is what I'm saying. This is the man that I'm learning dancing steps from. All right.
Because of our time, we won't be able to go too long. Thank you, DJ.
Thank you, DJ. Thank you. Surely you will see more of those dancing steps tonight from our father here. I quickly want to bring on board to receive this award from us, Mr. Albert Folorunsho, FCA. If my eyes are not deceiving me, I think this is the way of the pie. Then put your hands together for him as he takes his plug from us. Thank you.
On behalf of the Western Zone of ICANN and the Council of ICANN, we present to you this award, Mr. Albert Folorunsho, FCA. As the paper presenter today, you have done wonderfully well in your presentation. Congratulations, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Really appreciate you. Quickly, the registrar of Breapan, can you please stand up for recognition so that members that want to join the association can actually locate you. Thank you very much. Wave, 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 wave. Wave your hand to the Lord. God bless you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We want to welcome our IPP as he joins us in this program. Without much ado, we want to quickly listen to the Rapporteur General's report. You know, when you are rushing, you forget things. That's why we are now rushing.